Ever wondered if Lego could defy gravity? Well, check out this Lego Spider-Man set, the Spider-Jet vs. Venom Mech. In step 50 of the instructions, you're supposed to add a sticker to the clear cockpit piece and then place it on the build. But guess what? The sticker is already there, just floating in midair. It seems like the Lego designer who created these instructions started with this image and then decided to raise up the cockpit, but they left the sticker layer down below. So we've got ourselves a floating sticker. Check out this Lego Creator wind turbine set. It's this massive wind turbine, pretty wild stuff. Now, there's this minifigure pushing a cart with a couple of tanks on it. And here's where it gets interesting. There are two nozzles on the top, one yellow and one blue, but they're different pieces. The yellow one doesn't have a hole, while the blue one does. Turns out, Lego made different versions of this nozzle piece, with the new mold being the yellow one without the hole. But this set has both versions. How? Well, it's like a rare collector's edition, because you've got the new and old versions of the Lego brick in the same set, placed right next to each other on the cart. Next up is the Lego Star Wars Resistance Bomber set. It's got something pretty confusing going on with its instructions. So, on step 21, you're told to add a 2x2 gray circular plate piece. But here's the thing. When you look at the set, you can't find that piece anywhere. It's just not there. Not pictured at all. Crazy, right? And get this, you don't actually figure out where the brick goes until step 96, a whole 75 steps later. That's pretty ridiculous. You only stumble upon it because you're building the other side, and then you can go back and add the brick where it should have been in step 21. Talk about a wild ride through the instruction booklet. Here's a funny one from the Lego Movie 2 set. Welcome to Apocalypseburg. So, in step 211, it tells you that you need 3 bricks, but on the set, there are actually 4 bricks highlighted. There's even a Technic pin there, with red around the edges indicating that you should add it to the build. But the thing is, it's not mentioned in the steps above 211 that you should add it. False alarm, right? Well, if you flip through the next few steps, you'll see it disappears. And when it's added to the main build, it clearly doesn't have a Technic pin in it. Turns out, you add it the next time you build another little contraption and then attach it to the build. Now, this set definitely breaks some Lego rules. It incorporates an illegal Lego building technique. Check out the Lego Creator Blue Power Jet. Take a look at this image and see if you can spot it. Give it a few seconds to sink in. Can you see what's illegal about this build? If not, let's take a peek at the instruction manual where this piece comes together. Take a look at the cockpit of this fighter jet we're building. At the front, you're putting together a 1x1 clip piece and a 1x1 square tile piece. According to Lego, this combo is actually an illegal building technique. As you can see, it causes unnecessary stress because it doesn't fit properly. But the clip to tile combo, which is actually okay, is a legal building technique. It's just that the set uses the other combo, which Lego deems illegal, even though it's an official set. In this Lego roller coaster set, I want you to check out those flags. There are 3 pairs, right? Well, hold on. On the box art, one of the flags from the second pair is missing. And guess what? Same goes for the instruction booklet cover. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In the actual instructions, it tells you to include that missing flag. Now, flip to another set picture, and you'll notice something else quite funky. The flags from the first position are gone too, and you can see where the third flags were supposed to connect. And speaking of this roller coaster set, here's another interesting tidbit. For some reason, in those set pictures, Lego decided to remove those flags. Why? Who knows? Now, while we're on the topic of this roller coaster set, let's address another problem. There is a clear misnumbering in the instruction booklet. It goes from step 368 straight to 393. It goes without saying, that's definitely an error. If you happen to have this set, let me know in the comments below if you've spotted this in your instructions as well. Moving on with the Lego Arctic Supply Plane set. Follow the instructions exactly as they're printed, and you'll end up with a sticker that's upside down on your vehicle. Why's that? Well, the instructions have you create 2 of the exact same piece. and since the stickers are labeled the same, you end up with two identical stickers. But when you apply them to either side, one of them needs to be flipped, and suddenly, you've got an upside-down sticker. Talk about a bummer. Looks like we all need to keep an eye out when applying those dreaded Lego stickers. Lego, please, just give us more printed pieces. Next up, let's get into another Lego Ninjago set, Kai's Mech Jet. We're going to zoom in on the jet part of this build, not the mech. Looking at the instruction booklet, there's a bit of a color mystery. In the set picture, it looks like you get a gray 1x2 plate with 2 clips on it, but when you actually build it, it's red. So, which one's the real deal? Well, the instruction booklet shows it in red, but on the box art and other images in the booklet, it's gray. The correct one is actually the red clip piece in the instruction booklet. Seems like whoever built the set and took those pictures might have goofed up by using the wrong color clip piece. Wonder if it was intentional or just an honest mistake. Diving into another set, it's a classic mix-up between the box art and the instructions. Set 60042 stars 2 bank robbers zooming away on motorcycles, trying to dodge a police car. It's a modest 110-piece set, nothing too fancy. But what's surprising is the blunder that they made. The box shows these bikes cruising along without any kickstands. Now, that's cool, right? But then you crack open the instructions, and the first thing they tell you is to attach the kickstands. And guess what? They're in every single picture in the booklet. I mean, sure, you shouldn't have your kickstand down while riding, but come on, 4 times in the first 2 pages? That's a bit much, don't you think? Now, there's a little hiccup from the 31120 Medieval Castle, specifically when you're putting together the dragon's sub-build. In steps 28 and 30, when you're assembling the dragon's legs, the instructions ask for 2 1x2 plates with connectors each time. But guess what? When you look at the pictures, you only use 1 plate in each step. Now, if this mix-up happened just once, it wouldn't be a big deal, but seeing it twice? That'd definitely make me pause and wonder if I'm doing something wrong, especially if I ended up with a couple of those plates left over in the end. Next, we've got a tiny blip that might be the smallest mistake on our list today, but it's still pretty interesting. This is the Jungle Dragon set from Lego Ninjago. So, what's the fuss? Well, it's a little mismatch between the box art and the actual instructions. Specifically, it's about one of the villains in the set and how he's holding his 2 daggers. On the box art, the knife blades are shown curving downward, but in the instructions, they're curving upward. So here's the big question. Do you follow the box or the instructions in cases like these? Share your thoughts on what you do in the comments below. Moving on, we've got a couple of quirky mistakes in some Poe Dameron sets. First up, in the construction figure set, there's a small little oopsie in the final step. When you're supposed to place the head, you'll notice a random red Technic pin sticking out of nowhere near his arm. It's like it defies gravity. Turns out, it's from a previous step where you attach the blaster to Poe's hand. Seems like it's slipped out of place in the final image. But wait, there's more. On page 99 of Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter, you're given a small assembly, but if you look closely, the steps seem a bit mixed up. Step 1 shows 2 pieces, while step 2 only shows 1. It's like they're printed out of order. It's a minor hiccup, but it's kind of funny, especially when you realize the same set has another assembly done right in the proper sequence. Last one on the list is a set that I have a lot to talk about. So typically, Lego sets are made to be put together and, if you want, taken apart, so you can use the pieces for your own cool creations, right? But with the release of the 75313 AT-AT and or AT-AT, Lego's doing things a bit differently. Some parts of it can't be taken apart without using sharp metal tools. So these Technic frames they introduced back in 2009, super versatile, great for building sturdy models. But you gotta handle them with care, because if you connect stuff to them in a certain way, you might not be able to take it apart later. Say you stick one of these frames inside another horizontally, then slide 2 axles through the adjacent holes. Once it's in, it's stuck. Designers working on Technic sets usually know about this trick, and make sure it doesn't mess up anything in official sets. But it seems like there's a slip-up in 75313 AT-AT. Let me break it down for you. First, you set up the orange pin and the axle connector without any problems. Then, things get tricky when you slide in the green pin connector and push a 4L axle through it. Once it's in, there's no easy way to take it apart. You're stuck, and the only option is to gently nudge the axle with the knife blade, risking damage. Now, onto attaching the body to the underframe. The axles you insert into the side holes don't snugly fit into any holes inside the body. Removing them involves flipping the whole thing over, giving it a shake, and hoping for the best. It seems like LEGO might have overlooked a few things with this set. Maybe they were too focused on making it look awesome that they forgot about the practical side of things. And let's not forget the struggle of trying to dismantle LEGO sets without damaging them. Not exactly a walk in the park, especially when you're dealing with intricate builds like this one. Another thing about the LEGO Star Wars AT-AT set is that on step 884 in the 4th booklet, there's a tiny mistake. They ask for 2 identical 3x2 wedge pieces, but looking at where they should go, it's clear we need 2 mirrored wedges instead. No need to worry though, because fortunately, the set still has all of the right parts in it. So, which one of our rule breakers surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell. Thanks for watching.